when you know you're playing against Jokic, obviously you've done it before, you've done it in some big games. What's the first 2 or 3 things on your mind with that matchup?
First thing is just, being prepared, being physical, staying positive. Going against a guy like that, he's going to have his moments where he has goals on a run, where he's making a lot of shots or making tough shots or making some crazy passes. But you got to, stick to the game plan and, stick to your guns and stick to what we've been preparing for, and just staying physical and know it's a long game, and hopefully we can try to wear them out by the end of it.
Kevin, how would you describe what this year has meant for you individually?
It's meant a lot for me this year. Just being available for the whole year, staying healthy. Probably playing the best I played in a long time. So I've been improving and rebounding, improving around the rim. And so it's been a really good year for me, and hopefully I carry it on to the playoffs. This is where all the hard work really shows, and this is the moments you prepare for. So I'm excited. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. I'm just really excited about this year and what it means for my career. It was a pivotal year for me. I was excited going into the year. I'm excited going to the playoffs, and hopefully I can close it off right.
Kevin, obviously injuries can oftentimes be a freak thing that is out of your control. Right. But is there a specific thing or things that you were able to do coming into this year and then throughout the year to maintain this shape and play that you performed out there?
For me, I've been through multiple rehabs, and so I kind of know how to take care of my body and how to prepare myself for these games. It took me a long time to figure it out, a lot of trial and error, but right now I got it down to the science, kind of know how much rest I need, how much when I need to push it. I know how to kind of stay in shape for the minutes I'm playing in. So it was nothing special for me, just kind of doing a lot of preventative stuff, keeping my hips right, keeping my lower core right, something I had surgery on before. So just keeping those things intact. Was able to keep me healthy. Really key for me was going into the offseason healthy last year. I was able to make a lot of gains and not having to rehab to get back to where I was, to actually get better. And it kind of showed this year, and I feel good all year. And that was probably the biggest thing for me.
Kevon, what's Draymond been like in practice this week? I mean, he's never shy about offering his opinion in the regular, in normal times. As the playoffs get near, does he crank it up at all? How does he change it all?
He usually cranks it up. I would say he kind of started cranking it up probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it wasn't a big difference from now to then, because Steve challenged us all to going into the end of the season, just build some momentum. You can see his style of play, his speed, his intensity kind of ratchet up, and he's been carrying that on to the playoffs. So he's our leader. We kind of go as he goes, and he's been great during the practice, coming with a lot of energy, giving his insight in film, and helping us plan a defensive scheme and stuff like that. So this time of the year, Draymond turns to a whole other player, and it's always exciting to see. So I'm looking forward for the game tomorrow.
And kind of a related question, obviously you have a lot of experience against Jokic, but Draymond does also,
right.
And has done pretty well, relatively speaking. I mean,
right.
What have you learned? I mean, you guys are different players, I realize, but what can you learn from watching the way Draymond's played Jokic in the past?
For me, just watching Draymond every night, I learn a lot on the defensive end, especially in the post one-on-one. His ability to stand bigger guys up, and use his leverage to keep guys from backing them up underneath the rim. It's something that I always pick his brain about, just trying to gain that leverage. I always feel confident about keeping bigs in front of me. I don't think people can go around me like that, but some of the bigger guys like to lay on me and try to push me underneath. So I usually talk to him about things like that, and just using your leverage, using your body to keep some of the bigger guys off. And so that's the biggest thing I've been talking to him about. With a guy like Jokic, you got to kind of mix it up. Can't give him a steady diet of the same defense. So, talking about pressuring them sometimes, when to pressure, when to get back off of them. So different things like that, different moments in the game, and how we're going to approach it. Just things like that we've been talking about.
When did you really start seriously thinking that playing all 82 games was the goal this season? Was a goal this season? And at some point, you think, this might not be the most realistic, or were you always pretty sure you could do this?
I was always pretty sure it was a goal going into the probably halfway through the summertime. It's something that I was feeling really good. I wanted to get that off my bucket list of playing all 82. Halfway through the season, that's when I kind of knew, probably like 30 games in, I knew I could do it. I didn't have nothing nagging, no knick-knack injuries or nothing like that, so I felt really, really good. Like, usually around that time, I could start feeling different things, feeling old injuries and things of that nature, but this year I didn't feel anything, and I was feeling confident in the way I was playing. I was playing more minutes than I did before in the years past, and even with the more minutes and the more load, I felt even better than I did in the years past, so I felt like I was going to be able to accomplish it.
Going back to Ron's question a little bit about you and Draymond going against Jokic, you guys didn't have Draymond in any of the games that you played against the Nuggets this season.
Right.
Did you feel, like, how much did you feel that in those games, and how much is that going to change what you're able to do against him in this series?
It changes a lot. We felt it was a big loss not having Draymond in those games because, like I say, he's the best defender in the NBA, especially for guarding the post and guarding guys like that. So even when he's not holding Jokic on the ball, having him on the backside, makes it a lot easier for me hearing his voice. He's able to see all those back doors and passes. He's able to clean up our mistakes and things like that. So not having him was tough. We didn't have a lot of bodies to throw at Jokic, but having Draymond, he's going to do a lot of bulk of the work, and it makes the things a lot easier for everybody else and have them playing their natural role. So even on the offensive end, when Draymond goes to the center, he's able to push the pace and kind of change the style of the way we play. He kind of pushes our transition to another level. So both ends of the floor, he makes a big impact for the style we want to play versus Denver.
Do you think also maybe it kind of forced you guys to come up with different or more creative ways to defend Jokic? Because you just said, you can't keep throwing the same thing at him. Maybe you wouldn't have necessarily gone to GP in that instance, but now you have other options to do.
Definitely, when we have Draymond out there, we kind of don't have to worry about those type of one-on-one matchups. Jokic's going to score, but we feel confident that Draymond's going to make it tough on him. So definitely down the stretch, into the games, and times where I was sitting and we didn't have a lot of size out there. Having Draymond out there, allows us to keep the same coverages. Usually, definitely at the end of the game where guys tend to overhelp or something like that. We know with Draymond, we don't got to give much help, or if we do get help, he's going to yell at us until he don't need it. So, it makes the coverage a lot simpler, and we don't have to do all the different type of schemes that we usually do when we got Draymond out there. So, definitely helps simplify our defense.
Kevon, when you were in your first playoffs, were you one of those guys who tried to act like you knew what was going on and play it cool, or were you asking a lot of questions?
I definitely asked a lot of questions. No, I definitely didn't try to play it cool. My first couple times I got out there, I probably got pulled immediately for missing something simple. So I kind of learned from my mistakes. I didn't get a chance to make a lot of them, but when I did make one, I did learn from them. And guys would yell at me and get on me and hold me accountable, but it made me learn faster, and it made me ready for the next time I got the opportunity.
What about these guys? Are they like that too?
Yeah, definitely. Jordan's been asking questions about the playoffs since his rookie year. So he's been excited for this moment. JK's been excited about it. We always give Wiggs a hard time when not making the playoffs a lot, and he's been clamming to get back there. So all these guys have been asking a lot of questions. They seem excited. They seem ready for what's to come. But best way to learn is from experience. So it's going to be some ups and downs, but I think these guys are ready for it. They're ready to fight, and that's all you can ask for.
At this point, it's probably more about just being mentally prepared for the bigger stage, because you guys are all in your, physically ready.
Right.
What's just your best piece of advice to some of these young guys who haven't been there yet?
My best piece of advice is it isn't easy. It's not going to be not going to sweep through the playoffs. You're not going to win every game. It's going to be, you might be down in the series, but you got to stay together, and that is not going to be. That's probably the biggest thing that I learned from my times in the playoffs. Is been times where we was running through teams. The first two games seemed like it was going to be a sweep, and then it quickly turned into being down 3-2, and you got to fight back. So that's probably been my message to the young guys, and be ready for the intensity of, people want to win. So if it's people going to yell at you, they're going to hold you accountable, but you got to stay together and fight through.
You mentioned Jordan. How ready do you think he is for this stage? And, it seems like he's earned so much confidence from you guys through the course of this season.
Right.
How do you sort of view him here on the brink of the playoffs, maybe compared to the way you viewed him at the start of the season?
I always had an extreme confidence in Jordan. I think he's going to be ready for the moment. He usually always, big games, he always usually comes to play. He always comes to put on a show. So I think he's going to be ready. He's been preparing for, like I said, since his rookie year, he's been talking about the playoffs and getting to that stage and just being on the play and what it's like. And so I think he's going to be ready. At the beginning of the year, I think his mind, he was excited to be there and be ready, but I don't know if he was ready for all the details and, just the mental focus and preparation that you got to take in on every play. But I think, throughout the year, and Draymond, Andre, Steve, been on and watching film about valuing every possession on the defensive end, making all the small plays, not just the just scoring the ball, but the small things like boxing out, getting back on defense. They've been holding him accountable all year, so I think he's prepared for the intensity and the physicality of what the playoffs is like. Because he's been playing great all year, and they've been on him. For a guy who averaged 20 points a game, they hold him accountable like he's one of the last guys on the bench, and he allows people to coach him. So I think he's going to be ready.
Do you feel any special kinship with him, given your shared hometown?
Definitely. He's a guy that, like I said, I've been knowing and hearing about since he was a little kid, and to be able to go through this process with him, being two Milwaukee kids, both went to public schools there. It's kind of weird actually, because he kind of looked at me as an older person, he kind of watched me, and so to have a guy like that as kind of like a little brother, I never had one, so it's kind of weird, but it's cool to have that bond. We come from the same place. We know how hard it is to make it here and to be on the same team and be able to go on this playoff journey together is going to be a special thing for us.
As one of the old heads on the team, are you more of I'm explain it to you, in advance, or do you want them to feel it first and then know what you're talking about to give it some life and then come ask you some questions?
It's a little bit of both. For the most part, I do a lot of explaining before, because guys have a lot of questions. So they come to me, they want to talk about it. So I try to give them the best way I can, try to explain how the playoffs is and how their experience is. But I usually have to come back, and they usually come back to me like, you was right, you told me so, like that type of thing. So I usually do a lot of explaining before, just trying to get their mind right for not just the physicality, but like just the ups and downs of the playoffs. I've been in a position where I played a lot through a whole series, and the next series I might not play that much based on the matchup. So just getting people prepared for what's to come, just the adversity, the lineup changes, just the things of that nature that I've been through to try to help them be prepared for whatever's thrown at them.
So you never have to say, I told you so?
Nah, they usually come tell me. That's how it usually goes.
Based on, again, just going back to your breakout season this year, is there any one person or multiple people that have reached out to you to throw you some respect, either off the court or while you're playing on the court, and talked about how impressed they've been by you this year?
I wouldn't say. I mean, just my teammates and guys I work out with in the summertime. They've been telling me how proud I am. They just seen, they kind of knew it was coming from just the way I prepared this summer. They knew I was in store for a better year. So nobody in particular. I would say just my trainers, my family, just definitely my coaches. Them guys been proud of what I've been doing this year. I got to give a shout out to my man Decky. He's the new coach that I've been working with this year. He's been helping me a lot, and he's been on me about challenging me every night to do better. And he's one of the guys I get credit to.
All right, let's do a couple on Zoom real quick. Kareth Burke, go ahead.
Hey, Kevon, you are a really smart player, and I'm wondering what are the things that you focus on to make sure you don't foul in a game? And I'm not saying fouling has been a problem for you, but it might be part of the Nuggets' strategy to see if they can frustrate you. Do you think your size and rebounding off the floor?
We talk about that as a team a lot, not fouling, especially with a guy like Jokic. You don't want to put him on the free throw line so he can get easy looks, easy points. He's a lot of gamesmanship. He's really good at drawing fouls, and they got a kind of awkward timing, so he kind of baits you in. And so I kind of take pride in being smart and being disciplined or not reaching in and doing those type of things. So I gotta stay that way. Gotta know that don't get no dumb fouls. I talk about it with the coaching staff all the time. No moving screens early, no over the backs, no things of that nature. Just try to stay on the court. So it's tough. It's tough when you guard a guard like Jokic. He puts you in a lot of vulnerable positions where you gotta. Kind of, do I want to give up a layup or do I want to take the foul? But coach has been on us about just pushing the pace and just getting the ball out. He's a great player. He's going to score. Just don't put them on the free throw line. Slow the game down. So that's something that we've been talking about.
Do you feel like you're familiar enough with Jokic that you know his tricks?
He has a lot of them. I know some of them. I don't think I know all of them. Definitely by the end of the series, I probably will know all of them. Well, hopefully so. He's a great player with a lot of different moves and a lot of different skill sets. So I think I got a good feel for his game and what he likes to do. Stopping is another thing, but I think I got a good understanding of what he likes to do. But throughout the whole series, great players make adjustments. So I know it ain't gonna be the same the whole time.
All right, let's go to one last one. Christos, go ahead.
Hey, Kevon, hope you're doing well. During the season, we saw that your defense was really effective on a consistent basis. What made your defense so effective from your perspective? And what did you emphasize or pointed out about the series against the Nuggets on offensive end?
For me, on the defensive end, I'm pretty disciplined. I take pride in not making a lot of mistakes on that side of the ball. And I like being in the right position. So that kind of puts me at an advantage because I kind of know where to be. I know how to work. I know my body. I know where I'm vulnerable at. So that kind of how can I say it? Helps me just be prepared for different types of matchups. I'm not going to give easy fouls. I'm not going to give up layups. I'm not going to give up free throws. I'm pretty good at making guys finish it over the top. And when you got to make guys work, it's gonna be a long night, especially when I got built-in help. So that's kind of what makes me good on defensive end. I got good size, good length as well. And then on the offensive end, for our team to be successful versus the Nuggets, we just got to play our style. We got to push the pace a little bit, get our shooters open, and that's where I come in. I got to do a good job setting screens and putting pressure on the rim by diving. Take advantage of our matchups, and that's the biggest thing for me. Just getting our guys open, putting pressure on the rim, making the right plays in the pocket. Steph draws a lot of attention, JP as well. So when they're getting trapped, I got to be able to play, make out of the pocket, and make the right plays. And that's something I've been preparing for since my whole time here in Golden State. I've been getting better at every year, and it's time to show that.